boy looks old enough to understand the situation here, that a guy who has been in a coma since before he was born has woken up. I know that they are trying to show him being addicted to his phone and not caring about what's going on around him, but any normal child would have at least reacted more than that. Ravi has been in a coma, as in lying on a bed with minimal movement for 16 years. There is no way he would be able to move around this much after just waking up. And Ravi has perfect brain function immediately after waking up from this coma that was caused by a traumatic brain injury. He has no memory gaps or speech difficulties. He immediately recognizes his best friend, he's observing things around him and is able to make sense of them. He's even making jokes. This boy is clearly not pressing anything on the screen, so how is the phone recording his message? And yes, I understand the message that this movie is repeatedly emphasizing, that young kids are addicted to their phones, but a normal child would have just screamed out to his mom. How fast did Divya check her phone? She appears outside this room the second after her son hit the send button. How did Ravi recognize his sister? Ravi's hand has no scars after being on an IV drip for 16 years. Also, you cannot just tear an IV drip off your hand like that and be completely fine.
But
keeping a coma patient on life support in your house is going to cost just as much, maybe even more than keeping him at a government hospital. So bringing Ravi home just because the hospital became too expensive makes no sense. In fact, we see later that this family are in debt and are struggling to make ends meet. This movie never explains how they were able to afford Ravi's medical expenses. And adding on to this movie shows Ravi being in a coma as if he's just sleeping. Where is his life support? How did he survive without breathing tubes or feeding tubes? Is Ravi sitting up straight here? He's not leaning on anything for support. If Mani was really doing this, how did he not notice his son crossing the ant powder and getting close to Ravi? He only notices after the ant had already crawled to Ravi's arm. And why are these ants following behind this boy's cycle? It's almost like the ants were waiting for the ant powder to be cleared. How was Mani able to see this small ant from where he was sitting? A bite from this small ant woke him up. We see that Mani gives this shocked reaction even before Ravi opens his eyes. But at the start of this scene, Ravi is already awake and seated when Mani gives this exact same reaction.
Just 16 வருஷம்டா.
What a way to break this news to your best friend who just woke up from a coma. This kind of TV existed in 1996. And Ravi already saw his sister who's an adult now and even recognized her, right? I understand that he's in denial, but Ravi shouldn't be asking for more evidence that he's been 16 years. Also, in reality, seeing Mani as an adult should have also been enough proof to Ravi that 16 years has passed. But unfortunately, Mani has not aged this in school.
500,000 லாக் பண்ணிட்டு 2000 நோட்டை வெளிய விட்டுருக்காரு. இப்போ புரியுதா நம்ம நாட்டு நிலைமை எப்படி இருக்குன்னு?
Why should he understand that? And what does that information have to do with proving to Ravi that it's 2016?
அப்பா 8 வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னாடியே இறந்துட்டாரா.
Just to move on with the movie, Mani is telling all this information to Ravi all at once. In reality, a coma patient who has just woken up is usually assessed by a doctor first before being told all this.
அம்மா இருக்காங்களா? பக்கத்து ரூம்ல தான் இருக்காங்க. நான் போய் கூட்டினாரா?
Yes, because she apparently didn't hear all this commotion and noise that was happening right next to the room that she's in. And Ravi needs no immediate medical attention after waking up. He's even able to run to save someone who he thinks needs help. This whole house is back to normal within a few minutes. His mom and sister are both missing. All of them have been hoping for 16 years that Ravi would wake up. Now he's awake and this whole family is reacting like it's just another normal day.
இந்த ட்ரிம்மர் இதை யூஸ் பண்ண தெரியுமா?
அப்பா வெச்சிருந்தாரா.
குளிச்சிட்டு போட்டுக்கோ. குளிக்க தெரியும்ல?
Of course Ravi is able to do everything by himself. I don't think this movie knows how coma works. So the clothes that Ravi wore 16 years ago still fit him. And shouldn't Mani or Divya have passed him some clothes to wear instead of letting Ravi pick an outfit himself?
Nikita எப்படி இருக்கா?
எந்த நிகிதா?
யா ஆளுடா.
Did Mani just stop his bike in the middle of the road just to answer this question? Is he trying to get into an accident and send Ravi back into a coma?
ரைட்ல கை போடு.
Doesn't the back have signal lights? And Ravi is closing his eyes because...
என்ன கால்ல வேலை பாக்குது?
Thanks for finally addressing this, even if it's just for comedy.
பண்ணுங்க.
பண்றா.
So this is the first test this doctor does to a guy who's just woken up from a coma?
அந்த டேப்லெட் எடுங்க. டேப் ப்ரோ.
You could have just taken it by yourself then. Why ask Ravi to pass it to you? And if this tablet is for the doctor to use, why is it kept in front of where the patient sit?
ஒரு பிரச்சனையும் இல்ல. டோட்டலா சரியாயிட்டாரு.
I don't have the energy to point out this mistake anymore. What did she sleep on exactly? It just looks like she decided to stretch her back.
யாரும் கூட வரலையா?
இல்லப்பா, வீட்டுக்காரர் மட்டும்தான்.
So did your husband accompany you? What she says does not answer Ravi's question.
16 வருஷம் வாழ்க்கையே போயிடுச்சு. என்ன பண்றதுனே தெரியல.
எனக்கு 20 வருஷம் எங்களுக்கு குழந்தையே இல்லை.
Trying and not having a child for 20 years and being in a coma for 16 years are not even two similar situations. Ravi lost 16 years of his life, but even without a child, you were still able to enjoy other aspects of life in those 20 years.
ஒரு அலார சத்த சரியா கேட்கலன்னு ஒருத்தர் 15 நிமிஷம் லேட்டா எந்திரிச்சாரு. இன்டர்வியூ மிஸ் ஆயிருது. அந்த கோவத்துல இவர் என்னென்னலாம் செய்யறாருன்னு பாருங்க.
Okay, but this is clearly an example of an overreaction, right? Missing our alarms and waking up late are quite common. I mean, everyone have experienced this at least once in our lives. We get angry and frustrated, yes, but not to this extent. Also, this doctor is showing a clip of a video he found on YouTube. What if it was a fake video that was uploaded by a guy who was just trying to get views? And if this video was real, who was recording a video of this random guy in his bedroom, and why?
அதனால அவர் ஏதாவது ஆசைப்பட்டாருன்னா நிறைவேற்றுவீங்க. எதுக்குடா இந்த வாழ்க்கை வாழ்ந்தோன்னு சொல்லி அவரே ஒரு நாள்.
What a timing to make a joke out of Ravi's situation. And given how fast Ravi has been adapting to his new life during the last few hours, I don't think money or this doctor have anything to worry about. Even with this context, this is not okay. Where are these boys' parents? And when Mani and the doctor are seeing Ravi through the blinds, Ravi's mouth is clearly not moving. But they exit the room and suddenly Ravi is talking.
எனக்கு அவளை பார்க்கணும்.
Ravi has been normal all the way up to this scene. So why this sudden psycho behavior? By the next scene, he's back to normal again.
என் பையனுக்கு 3 வயசு. என் பையனும் என் பொண்டாட்டி இந்த பார்க்ல தான்டா சுத்தி நிக்கறாங்க.
Mani lets his 3-year-old son be on Facebook. What would a child that young be interested in other than children's songs and videos? Mani's son should be more interested in YouTube than Facebook.
என்னடா பொண்ண வளர்த்து வச்சிக்கிறீங்க?
சரி மச்சான், பார்.
I mean, Ravi didn't exactly raise his sister. You should be questioning your mother-in-law.
எப்படி இந்த பார்க்ல அவளை தூக்கற மாட்டேன் பார்.
மச்சான், இவதான்.
That was fast. Nikita is a common name, right? It should have taken them a lot longer to find her. And in this photo, Nikita's face is mostly covered. How was Ravi able to recognize her?
ஆமா மச்சான், இவளேதான். ஆனா எல்லாம் பெருசா இருக்கு.
Ravi knows that Nikita is not 17 years old anymore, right? So was this comment necessary?
ஏண்டா, அவ வீட்ல இல்லன்னு ஊர்க்கே சொல்லிட்டாளே. அப்ப அவ வீட்டுக்கு திருட வந்துட்டானா?
Okay, I understand the intention behind this line. Posting information on social media about where we are and all can be dangerous. But Ravi's concern about a thief breaking into Nikita's house because of this doesn't make sense. Even without social media, a thief would probably just wait outside her house until Nikita leaves and then break in. Robbery was still happening in the world before social media existed. Why are none of these bikes overtaking Mani? The road in front of them looks clear. Once again, how did Ravi recognize her just by looking at her back? This guy forgot that he was supposed to be acting. How did Mani lose sight of Nikita's car? He was quite close to her in the earlier scene. That sounded nothing like a dog. And if you look at the dog, it's clearly not howling when the door is opened.
ஐயோ இல்ல, அவங்க லவ்வர்.
Once again, Ravi knows that it's been 16 years, right? Entering the house with shoes on. The same doctor who said earlier that Ravi has lost 16 years of his life and that Mani has to be patient with him and fulfill his wishes is reacting this way. Out of everyone, this doctor should be the first to understand what Ravi means.
ஒரு தடவை கூட என்ன வந்து பார்க்கவே இல்லல்ல.
இல்ல, நீ செத்துட்டேன்னு நினைச்சேன்.
But if Ravi was dead, you would have been informed about his funeral, right?
I love you சொன்னல்ல, அப்ப நீ ஏதோ சொல்ல வந்த. என்னன்னு சொல்லிருப்ப? அங்கிள் இருக்காருன்னு பயப்படாத. நான் சும்மா
He was sweating so much earlier. Now there's hardly any sweat on his face. And just to put it out there, Ravi's sister married his best friend. Ravi's school crush married his doctor. Everything that happens in this world revolves around Ravi.
இப்படின்றதுக்குள்ள இன்னொரு ஃபிகரை சாம்பிள் பாக்குறியா? 13B பஸ் எப்போ வரும்?
சாரி
அவங்க பக்கத்து ஸ்கூல் தான்.
This movie keeps going back and forth with this logic. Ravi knows that he's not 18 years old anymore. So why would he go up to this student in the first place? Him not knowing how to flirt like an adult is understandable. But at this point, he should know that flirting with a student is not okay.
மச்சான் இப்ப பாரு.
Suddenly in this scene, he's trying his luck with this woman who he just called Akka earlier. So again, why did he talk to the student at the bus stop?
அது இல்ல காதல்.
This whole scene is very problematic. Just because some movies normalize this doesn't mean that people watching them would and should follow it. And even in these movies, there are other better scenes that actually show love. So why did Mani choose these specific scenes to show Ravi?
முதலியார் மேட்ரிமோனி, செட்டியார் மேட்ரிமோனி, ஐயர் மேட்ரிமோனி. ஆனா எனக்கு தான் ஜாதியே இல்லையே.
எல்லாம் ஓப்பனா சொல்லணும்.
And remember that emotional scene in the start of the movie?
கேஷ்னா என்னப்பா?
தெரியலப்பா.
அவங்களுக்கு தெரியாத ஒரு விஷயத்தை நாம தான் கத்து கொடுக்கணும்.
Mani basically makes a joke about it by indirectly saying Ravi's father was wrong. Why push a positive message in the movie and not follow through with it?
இங்கேயும் இல்லை.
ஐயோ.
So Ravi is not doing anything else other than finding a girlfriend. Why is this the first thing on his to-do list after waking up? And where is his mother during all of this? Why is she not helping to make sure that Ravi's life gets back to normal? You mean she's still single? And were Mani and Ravi just staring at their laptop at the birthday party? So Ravi just happened to match with Divya's friend, who just happened to be right in front of them? How convenient. Also, Ravi should have seen Ritika when they first came to this party, right? So why is Ravi only attracted to Ritika after seeing that they matched? Unless Ritika was looking away from them the whole time until the movie needed her to turn, which doesn't make sense.
தெரிஞ்சவனா இருந்தாலும் நேர்ல போய் பேசக்கூடாது.
But why? Ravi can still just introduce himself, right? This movie is really pushing the social media addiction to a point where it's unrealistic.
மோதூர்ல Facebookல ஃப்ரெண்ட் ரிக்வெஸ்ட் கொடுத்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் மோதூர்ல வாட்ஸ்அப் நம்பரை வாங்கணும்.
And since Ritika is Divya's friend, couldn't he have just gotten her number from Divya? This conversation between Ravi and Ritika on Facebook makes no sense. Ravi just introduces himself as Divya's brother, and his very next message is send me your WhatsApp number. And Ritika actually sends a number.
முதல்ல உன் கான்டாக்ட்ல போய் அவன் நம்பரை அழுத்து.
Ravi was chatting with her on Facebook and her name on the profile is spelled Ritika. So why did Ravi spell her name wrongly on his phone?
ரொம்பவே வித்தியாசமா இருந்தீங்க. வந்திருந்த யாரும் முகத்தை பார்த்து கூட பேசிக்கல.
Once again, this movie is pushing the social media addiction to a point that is unrealistic. Young children, yes, they may be at a birthday party and still be glued to their phones, but adults don't do this as a social event.
உக்க பீஸ் கூட ஆள் இருக்கும்போது நீங்க மட்டும் சிங்கிளா இருந்தீங்க.
She laughs at this line. This should have been a red flag.
இது செல்ஃபி.
The reflections on Ravi's glasses are clearly edited, and it doesn't match what he's supposed to be seeing. Ravi has been awake for at least a few weeks at this point. How is he not seen other women dressed this way?
Anyway, hi.
Ritika is kissing a guy who she's just getting to know. A hug would have been more realistic and appropriate here. And Ritika should have asked Ravi first if it was okay for the kiss, since they are just getting to know each other at this point.
ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டைம் மீட் பண்ணும்போது செல்ஃபி எடுத்துப்பாங்களாமே.
Ravi asked for a selfie, and Ritika is clearly posing for the photo. How did Ravi misunderstand this?
பலவந்தமாக ஒரு பெண்ணை பொது இடத்தில் வைத்து முத்தமிட்ட காட்சி.
This news channel is reporting this story as if it was a complete stranger who walked up to a random girl and kissed her. The security footage should have also captured Ritika and Ravi talking before this incident, which would have shown that they knew each other. Of course, that doesn't mean that what Ravi did was okay, but this could have easily been a couple fight or a misunderstanding between lovers. Both Ravi and Ritika would not have given interviews to media to confirm what happened, and the news channel would definitely need to confirm the story before reporting about it.
இல்ல என்னதான் பண்ற? ஒரு வேலைக்கு போறியா? சும்மா.
This whole scene is emotional, but also problematic. I understand that Divya is frustrated after what happened, but from the time Ravi woke up from his coma to this point, we've not seen even one scene where Divya has helped Ravi adjust to his life, or even guide him on what to do next. Like the doctor said earlier, Ravi is still a 70-year-old student at heart, so yes, he is immature, irresponsible and needs a lot of guidance to move forward with his life. But all this while, Mani was the only one staying by Ravi's side and helping him. Her anger towards Ravi here is unfair, given that she has done nothing to help her brother adjust to life after a 16 years coma. And if anything, Mani should at least be taking the blame for everything that happened because of the stupid advice he gave Ravi earlier.
மருந்து செலவுக்கெல்லாம் காசு கட்ட முடியாம பேங்க்ல லோன் வாங்கினோம். திரும்ப கட்ட முடியாம இப்ப இந்த வீடே சீஸ் பண்ற நிலைமையில இருக்கு. அவங்களோட குடும்பத்தோட சேர்ந்து நாங்க நட் ரோட்ல நின்னு வெச்சுக்கோயே. அதுக்கு காரணம் வேற யாருமே கிடையாது. நீ மட்டும் தான்.
Ravi did not ask to be in a coma. Putting all this burden and guilt on him is really insensitive no matter how upset you are at your financial situation.
நீ ஏன் தான் எந்திரிச்சிருக்க?
What a horrible thing to say to your brother who's clearly just having difficulties adjusting to his life. And you would rather he still be in a coma. You just said that Mani couldn't afford his medical bills. And once again, no one in this family helps Ravi in his job search. They couldn't even tell him to take a recent photo for the job interviews.
காத்தடி உள்ள வரியாடா?
How did Ravi get a kite to fly so high from the balcony?
இல்ல என்னோட ஃப்ரெண்டோட ஆபீஸ்ல வாட்ச்மேன் போஸ்ட் காலியா இருக்கான். போறியா?
And of course, that friend just happens to be Ritika.
செக் பண்ணனும்.
Ritika has worked here for some time, right? Why didn't she know that only guys are checked?
ஜென்ஸுக்கு மட்டும் தான் நீ செக் பண்ணனும்.
And this is an important information that you needed to tell Ravi before he started his job.
It's for 50 lakhs.
The audience probably had the exact same reaction.
உங்க மேல எனக்கு கோவம் இருந்தது உண்மைதான். ஆனா உங்களை பத்தி உங்க தங்கச்சி என்கிட்ட ஃபுல்லா சொன்னப்புறம் தான் எனக்கு புரிஞ்சது. உங்க இன்னசென்ஸ்ல தான் நீங்க அப்படி பண்ணீங்கன்னு.
How did Ritika, who is Divya's friend, not know about Ravi's situation before this? Surely at some point during their friendship, Divya would have mentioned that her brother has been in a coma since he was 17 years old.
அப்பவே சந்தேகப்பட்ட நீ ஏதோ மறைக்கிறேன்னு.
என்னால இல்ல. மொத்த பில்டிங் அலாரம் அடிக்குது.
Then why did you look at the metal detector as if the alarm was coming from it? Of course, a guy who has been in a coma for 16 years somehow knows karate or whatever fighting style this is. Couldn't this guy have just waited for the bag to come out from the other side? Ravi can be innocent, but why is he being stupid? This screen shows them both sitting up while they are inside the machine. Firstly, this machine is clearly not tall enough for them to be sitting up. Secondly, when Ravi exits the machine, his legs are already on the ground and his upper body is still in the machine. If they were sitting up, Ravi's upper body should have exited the machine first. Can Ritika see that Ravi is fighting the robbers? Why can't she run over and help to hold the statue instead of just standing there and screaming? This statue, that is worth $10 million, is placed on a platform that is not even stable. You can see this platform shaking when Ravi pushes it. Ritika needed her fingerprints to unlock this container and reveal the statue inside. How would the robbers have removed this statue without Ritika? This entire museum is filled with expensive items, but the robbers chose to steal this one particular item that just happened to belong to Ravi. That is movie magic for you.